What's up, guys? Welcome back to my Olympia prep series. Currently 2 weeks out from the Olympia. If you haven't been following along, check out the last 3-week out video. Get y'all all caught up and everything that I'm doing leading up to the show. On that last video, just to recap, I was hit a body weight low of like 213.8, and I had that sushi froyo meal added into my meal plan. And what happened is like 3 days after that, I ended up hitting another body weight low. So I burned right through that carbohydrate increase. And when you're having to refeed that frequently, it just makes sense to raise your baseline diet. That way you're not chasing your weight with frequent refeed meals. So you might have one of these every 7-10 days, but if not, it's time to raise food up. And that's exactly what was happening. So my plan's been adjusted. I'm now at 350 grams of carbs, 250 grams of protein, and 20 grams of fat. And if you want to see the diet, I posted it all below for you guys, so you can check it out, look it over what I'm actually eating. So on that, my body weight's kind of slowly risen up. This morning I was 216.4, and much fuller, rounder. I'm definitely growing right now, and that is possible after a show when you're very truly stage lean. So I'm like 10 pounds up from Tampa, and I'm being able to increase my training volume too. So have more volume in back training, more volume in my shoulder training, because my recovery's increased that much, so I can handle more hard working sets. And it's showing in my pictures, like looking at my posing and all my shots from this morning. Like I have so much more roundness to my shoulders and triceps, and especially in my back width, and my development in detail in it. But I'm staying really hard, and that's the thing. So if you're going your post show, and you see people that don't do their rebound right, and they eat a lot of cheat meals, and you lose that insulin sensitivity really quick, and then you start putting on water, and you're putting on body fat, and you're not going to make those lean gains like what you're seeing me do right now. So the best practice is just keep eating the same foods, just slowly increase and go more and more, and watch your performance. You should be fueling performance. And so my strength's going up in all my lifts right now while handling more volume. So that's all equating to a greater stimulus, and we're seeing growth happen. As far as everything else in the plan, it's been rock solid. Like I feel great. Daily energy's good. I have no problem doing my cardio still. I just walk outside for 5 miles a day. Sleep's good, 7 hours a night, and quality. I wake up once to pee, but I can go right back to sleep, which isn't common on prep. And that just shows you, like, that's another area that recovery has improved on. So you want to try to optimize sleep as much as possible while you're on prep. There's lots of ways that you can do that. At some point you get low body fat, low energy. It's very hard to. One thing that's helped a lot for me is stimulants. I used to take a lot of stimulants and fat burners for shows to get down. I'm not taking any right now except for some caffeine in my pre-workout. And so there's no stimulants in my system when I'm getting close to sleep at nighttime. So my anxiety is still low. I'm not stimulated and cranking all night. I will take like one Benadryl just to really help knock me out, and that works perfect. I've tried lots of other, like the Animal Pack PM's a really good one if you're looking for something with theanine and GABA in it. I'm a fan of that one. Benadryl's just been working the best for me currently for sleep. And I'm keeping fluids really high as well right now. And I try to taper them towards the evening, because I think people get hungry in the evening and you start adding in more fluid and catching up, and then you're up all night peeing. So I do 3 gallons of water a day, but it's tapered towards the end of the day. So I think that helps as well. Other tips too, like cut out the blue light, not to look at your cell phone, your computer, or you get the blue light glasses. That can help well as not keep you so stimulated at nighttime. on prep you get so busy too, like there's no downtime in the evenings. You end up just go and lay right down, your head's still moving. So try to have that, time of reflection or meditation or reading a book or something that calms you down. But at least moving forward here, I'm going to keep food high, keep growing, improving, within reason, because I still have to make weight. But we're headed now, going to the muscle factory. So today is my leg day, and I'm going to lead you through my leg session. We'll have a little bit of quads in there, more quad compounds, and some hamstring isolation. So get over there and get to it. Approaching today's leg session. So I have currently a full leg day, which is what we're going through today. My second leg session, it has definitely a heavy back emphasis with some hamstring work. So legs is a really strong body part for me, and my feedback from the judges was to just bring up my upper body and almost nearly maintain lower body. So that's where my volume's at now. So if you're looking at this workout, realize that for me, this is low volume for me. The sets are still really high effort, but for a lot of people, you're gonna need more volume in your leg training to do. So times when I'm just doing, a few exercises or a few sets, you potentially would need more than how I have it structured. But my other leg day, just to give you an overview, that is the day that I have like my hip hinge on, like a heavy compound RDL or rack pull, and then I do glute bridges on that day. And then I have like back work. So I have some hamstring work in the day. But for today, and I also have leg extensions on my other my leg day. So, but for today, how I structured it is just my compound moves for quads, and then isolation movements for the most part for hamstrings and glutes. And what I did, my thought with programming leg training now, since I've had these injuries too, is also longevity. So I've taken into account a way to structure the exercise order to give me the safest way to train legs, and each exercise will build upon the next one, so I'm not starting with a compound move where the load is extremely heavy and the risk is high. At this point, if I don't need to necessarily bring legs up more, I don't need to put myself at that risk. That's not to say that we're not going to train fucking really hard. So I start with a lying leg curl, and I think I've talked about this before. John Meadows, this was a few years ago, talked about how it feels better training hamstrings first, going into your squat movements, and he's seen better knee longevity and hip issues, less hip issues, starting with a leg curl. So that's something to take from someone that's been doing it for years. I don't have a good way to explain that besides pumping the hamstrings, and then they're having some type of blood in them, and going into a squat pattern from there could potentially warm up the knee in a certain way. Possibly, it's hard to explain that justification, but it's something I put in place. And if anything, my quads are very domineering over my hamstrings, so I'll start with a lying leg curl, which is going to hit the full portion of all the hamstrings: bicep femoris, semitendinosus, semimembranosus. Hit your adductors as well too, which your adductors are definitely involved in hip extension, and I can feel mine get pumped up while I'm doing lying leg curls. So this is my first movement. So I'll hit a set of 12 reps, 10 to 12 reps failure, and then I'll keep decreasing the load to raise the rep range up. And so my sets were I hit a set of 12, a set of 15, then a set of 17 reps, and I'm lowering, using less weight each time. Have a great contraction with my hamstrings and getting a really, really good connection. So just thinking of bending and flexing at the knee and keeping the hips locked down. You don't want those hips kicking back up as you're doing a leg curl, but starting with these, that puts a lot of fire and pump right into hamstrings and adductors. And it feels really good going into the next exercise. I go into a pendulum leg press, and this is by far my favorite quad move. For one, for safety, because the load is taken off a little bit in the lengthened stage when the muscle would be at the highest risk for injury. But then as you're pressing through and that load is rising, you get more tension throughout the muscle. So you get this like really good constant tension in the quads. It's unrelenting, and it's something that I can start off and do really high reps on and hit a failure point, and get a great quad stimulus as I go into my next move exercise from there. So I'll do like 4 warm-up sets on this one. My last warm-up set I hit like 4 reps on, getting ready for this first work set, and it's daunting. It's just so mentally, just a lot to take in before going into this work set, because I know what I have to do. And what my goal for this first set is hit something between 15 to 20 reps failure. And 20 reps of failure on a pendulum leg press is brutal. Like, people that go to real failure on leg press, like, you're probably not, because it's like so damn hard. So my goal with this set is I'm gonna keep with this weight that I've been using, which it's 535, and I'm staying with it until I hit 20 reps. Once I hit 20 reps, then I'm gonna add load, and I'll let the reps drop to maybe 15 and keep building back up till I hit 20 again. So my last time I did this exercise, I hit 17 reps. So I know going into this, like, I need to add reps, and mentally on prep, you put in your mind, like, I'm going to Olympia, I need to do the things that no one else is willing to do. So I put it all in for this set. Ended up hitting 18 reps, so I got 1 extra rep, which being 2 weeks out from the Olympia and hitting a PR is phenomenal. And since my legs are strong points, that's usually where I'm seeing progression happening. Then I back down in weight. So I do a back off set. I drop the load that's probably about 25% down to 400. And for this set, I'm trying to hit 25 reps. 20 to 25, that's my range that I'm trying to be in. It's the same thing, because it burns like hell. And the quads are super pumped just after 1 set. And I go into that set, attack it, and I hit 24 reps. I could have gone for that 1 last rep, but it just didn't seem worth it. The amount of stimulus that I would have got from it versus fatigue. I have to always weigh that out when I'm going into these work sets, because if I know I'm that far off from probably getting it, it's not going to be worth going for it. I can save that and put more effort into my stimulating reps on my next exercise. So moving on, so that wraps up my 2 sets, 2 hard ass sets of pendulum leg press, which fries my quads. I have such a strong connection with them that those sets do a lot for me. When someone else just developing those connections, you might need 3-4 sets, okay? But I move on to hack squat. And so on hack squat, since I injured my quad, I've been banding the hack squat, so it takes some of the load off the lengthen phase, but I get good constant tension throughout as the band overloads the top. So I've stuck with that and just been progressing back up in weight on it. It's been I'm going to a movement that has a greater range of motion and more loading in the lengthen phase, and so going for a movement that loads a lot in the shortening phase to lengthen, it's a good exercise order for safety, but also just giving a great stimulus as well. So on this one, last time I did 435, got 11 reps. This time I went up to 455, and I did 9 reps. So I feel like it was a slight drop off, but the connection from the leg press, I have to weigh that in. So the reps dropped a little bit, but overall the feeling in my quads is just substantially more than the last leg workout. Then from there I do a back off set. I went down to 3 plates and a quarter. I hit like 13 reps on that, so a little bit lighter. And so those are my 4 sets of quads. That's all I'm really doing for the total week. I have 6 work sets for quads, which is really down below probably my minimum, effective volume, or even closer to maintenance possibly. The hamstring volume for this workout, it's at 7 sets. So definitely higher in hamstring work, but it's more isolation work, and so you can definitely push more volume in your isolations versus your compounds. So moving on, so I hit these compound moves. My next thing is going to go into definitely pushing more metabolic stress on this day for hamstrings, adductors, and glutes. Go to my other leg day, and I have those more compound movements and heavier loading on my hamstrings. So that's how I have it split, just so y'all understand. Like, heavy compounds on quad day for quads, isolation works, high rep metabolic work. The other leg day, heavy compounds for hamstrings and more metabolic work for quads, like leg extensions and stuff. So what I did was go into a triset. So I did a seated leg curl, and so I did a lying leg curl already. We're doing a seated leg curl because it takes your bicep femoris out, and you're just hitting more so the semimembranosus, semitendinosus, that middle part of the hamstring, that part that gives you the detail from the rear of the hamstring, from the adductor to the outside of the leg. And so I'm going to hit this a failure set, 15 to 20 reps. I'm going to go straight into a 45-degree back raise. And this one, you're going to hit hamstrings, of course, but I'm really trying to target my glutes more. And it's a very, very strong connection and mind-muscle connection I'm trying to make, so it's slow. I come up and squeeze glutes very, very hard in it. I don't use a lot of weight, and I control my body down with the glutes. I'm just trying to go to failure. And failure for me is when I can't extend the hips any farther. I could swing the weight around and do a lot more weight, but that's not the purpose of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put a ton of tension into the glutes with this one. And coming off that, it is... It will make you wobbly for sure. Seated leg curls and into a 45-degree back raise, like you start, your hip stability starts going, and then from there I go right into a adduction machine, and so hit some adductors. That really completes the look from the front as well. Your adductors are going to fill in and give you that leg width that you need from the front and from the back too. So we're trying to hit the full spectrum of the hamstring and fill in your rear shot from the adductor, from the semimembranosus and tendinosus out to the bicep femoris. So we're going to hit it all. And this combination, I think it does it well. And the accumulation of fatigue in that triset, it's pretty brutal. So I'm trying to just burn them out at the end. Since my food's higher right now, I've been adding in volume as I can recover from it. And as I add in volume, you're adding in more dosage of stimulus, so you can grow more. So for hamstrings, what I added in was, after this triset of doing 3 rounds, I do 1 set all out of a good morning hack squat. And I choose the hack squat because it doesn't load. I don't feel as much loading on my spinal erectors doing it, and it's more stable. So after doing all this stuff that kind of makes you unstable, you have a very fixed position to really direct tension into. For high reps, it's good. Like a high reps on an RDL is a terrible idea. So this one, you get in a fixed position. I just work the bottom half of the movement. So I go into a deep stretch and just come up halfway and keep constant tension. One all-out set of like trying to hit about 20 reps. If you do it right, it's brutal. And that's wraps up just that hamstring work that I have in place. And that's the full leg day. The last thing that I have for this leg day is just some abdominal work. And so I do abdominal work 3 days a week. For today, I do a weighted hanging leg raise. And so I'll have the elbow straps, and I'll put a dumbbell at my feet. So I just have like 20 pounds. And I'm just working on lumbar flexion and bringing the hips up and lowering it down. And I'll just try to hit a failure set and really make sure you control the eccentric phase, because that's where you're really going to get a good stimulus on the abs. I believe in training abs weighted and progressing the load. It's like any other muscle. If you need hypertrophy, if you don't have a good ab development, you need to load it with weight. So I hit I think I hit 12 reps in the first set, and then I just stick with the same weight and just go to failure each time. That third set though, I drop the weight and I just do body weight to failure. So that's 4 sets on my hanging leg raises. And you can really feel a good lower abdominal contraction. So now I want something that's going to hit more upper, and I'm also thinking of posing as well in this. So I want, when I'm doing that overhead abdominal shot and crunching down the abs, I want someone that's going to kind of mimic that and help me build that connection with my abs. So I like doing a rope crunch, and what I do is a set to failure, around 15 reps, and really getting a good pause at the peak contraction. And I do a double drop set. So I drop weight, go to failure again, drop weight, and go to failure again. And that wraps up my ab training. So 7 sets total for abs. And that's the full leg workout, guys. I know you might wonder, when do you do calves? I do calves. I do it on my back day, and then also on one of my push days. So I do them twice a week. After going through all the leg work, I'd rather do calves fresh, especially because most people don't train them hard enough either. So I really do them on days that aren't as demanding as my leg training days. But that's been it, guys. I'm having excellent workouts, and with this higher food amount, man, I can push in the gym hard, and the pumps are just unreal right now. So that's why I have so much more roundness and fullness, and I really hope this look will translate to stage. And I think it will, because I have the advantage this time of my weigh-ins being in the morning, so I don't have to cut weight as much, or really anything. I'll be down at weight in the morning, and then I have 24 hours to fill back out, so it should be a great look. I'm super excited. I'll post the workout below if y'all want to check it out. Again, this is what I'm doing for me in my current state. You're welcome to try the workout, but again, you need to see what the volume level is correct for you. But anytime I would, take from me pushing your sets hard. I think most people need to learn how to put a lot of effort into the sets. So at least take that away and then see how many sets that you need and how you recover from that. But check out the workout, guys. Again, the diet's below. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to see in this prep. We have a few weeks left, a few more videos left, so I'll be happy to show that to you. Until next time, we'll see you guys then.